Hey everyone, this is Fosh bringing you my, Durarara Season 2, season review. I know there's another part coming out later on. And I'm just, instead of doing a written post, I wanted to get this out there because it finished a couple days ago, and yeah, I just need to get it out of the way and, or focus on the new stuff coming out here soon. But, I guess when I last left off, we had Akane kinda in trouble with, a lot of people that try to kidnap her, Verona and Sloane. They're kidnapping her, and we had some with Celti and Henri with her, and Mikado even got pulled into this. And it was just, this chaos thing with basically revolving around Akane being this, center focus for most of the episodes. And, yeah, so more gang-related stuff. You have these gangs against each other, and this massive, fight between the Dollars and one of the other gangs. They have these bikes, but whatever. They showed up and started attacking. And so at this school, you had this massive, again, free-for-all. All these people kind of just fighting each other, and it was got a little crazy. I was like a little out there as far as how many people actually showed up. I mean, it all started with two characters just fighting each other, and it just escalated to more people showing up, and then Henri was there, Verona was there, even Shou showed up, he was there, and yeah, so again, all these people just showed up, and it was just chaos, and Chitagi, him being the guy who wants to protect the women and all that, he he's an interesting character. I wouldn't mind seeing more of him in the future, and he's an interesting character, even though he kind of comes off as being too full of himself, I guess you would say. And watching him fight Kodoto, sorry, watching them fight was pretty funny. Just those two just beating each other. And eventually, they get to a point where they're just like, I'm tired of fighting, and they kind of somewhat, I would say, become some sort of friends. Maybe we don't know what the future holds for those two. But yeah, so that whole fight kind of through, I guess they were kidnapping some girl and whatever. Mikado eventually did confront Chitagi and told him that he's the leader of the Dollars and all this, and he was just kind of like, yeah, right, okay. Like, he didn't really know how to believe him, and to me, I'm like, how would someone believe someone like that out of the blue? They just say he's the leader of the Dollars. So. But it was kind of weird. But back with Akane, I guess she gets reunited with her family, and we did see some stuff with her past. I don't think I ever got to it in the reviews, but that her family was a mafia family, obviously, but she didn't know this a long time ago. She didn't know this, and she goes to school and all this, and I guess she overhears a rumor that people are being nice to her because her family is pretty scary. I guess Akane finds out that her family is maybe done some shady stuff, maybe killed some people, and she starts figuring out that's why everyone's kind of nice to her at school, that they're faking it, they're not really her friends. So she runs away from home, doing all that. And yeah, so she's scared that her family's a Yakuza related family, so she's kind of scared about that. But her character was kind of interesting. I mean, again, she's the youngest character I think in this series ever they've ever shown. So just funny seeing her, and she's their first meeting him. Obviously, we all saw that she tried to kill him, but it didn't work out so well. So yeah, that's just something that she's probably never gonna be able to do, unfortunately. But yes. I guess she considers herself maybe a rival with him, and it's kind of interesting for her character. But yeah, we'll see what happens with her. But eventually, like I said, she does get rescued and all that, and there was a moment between her and Shizue that was kind of nice, and Celti's kind of confused that she's never seen this side of Shizue before and all that. So yeah, it's pretty funny. And speaking of Shizue, he gets I guess the mafia that thought he killed his members kind of let him off, because they realized he wouldn't kill anyone out of spite, just to kill him. So we have all that with him, so he's kind of back to his regular status. He's not being hunted by the Yakuza, the Mafia anymore, so he's fine now. And, there's a bit with Mikado, which I would say gone through the most as his character, because everyone kind of, even myself, can consider him a weak character. He's not very interesting at all. He's just kind of boring. But, he's kind of confronted by a new kid that just showed up this season, that, Alba, who's kind of, I guess, finds out that he's a Dollars. Well, maybe he finds out he's the Dollars leader. And so, he is part of the, I guess, Blue Squares. And he, kind of comes to Mikado and wants him to be the leader of his gang. And his gang hasn't really done much, but they did set fire to some guys' bikes. I think it was Chihagi's gang. So yeah, that was kind of bad for him, but they back kind of Mikado in the corner that he has to eventually lead, or they're going to spill the beans that he's the leader of the dollars. Or they got some kind of blackmail against him, so you know, they're going to hold it against him for a while, but yeah, that part was kind of interesting. But seeing Mikado kind of go down this dark path where he makes his contract paper and he stabs, you know, Alba in the hand with his pin, and he just kind of goes psycho for a bit and kind of snaps out of it, and he's just like, oh, I'm sorry, I did that. But yeah, so I guess Mikado's kind of in a bad position right now. He's got to lead this gang, and it's not looking good for him, because again, I think he's going up the deep end where he's going to start becoming more like Izaya once he starts getting that, you know, taste of power that he can boss people around, actually get things done. But I also think maybe you could take Alba and kind of change the blue squares to be more like the dollars, where they do good instead of bad. But yeah, Mikado, again, I don't know what's going on with him. He's definitely going through some stuff. And closer to the end, we have this bit with Verona and Sloane after they kind of lose Akane, and they kind of have to go into hiding. So, you know, I guess we had Akane's family, whatever you want to call them, show up, and they kind of shot basically both of them. But I think Sloane might be killed off, but Verona, she kind of gets shot in the legs, and she's kind of, you know, disabled for now, or, you know, temporarily stopped. And Simone and a few others from the sushi shop show up to take her away. I guess they, you know, I guess that maybe that's part of the deal, that to get revenge for them kidnapping Akane, maybe they were supposed to give up one of theirs for one of them. And yeah, so Sloane, I don't think he's gonna be around next time. He's yeah, I think he's gonna be screwed. But Verone sees you know, I guess Ikebukuro being this cool town, and she likes it because it's very interesting. You know, she's met, you know, Shizuo, and she's met Celti, which those two to her are people that she wants to take out. She's aiming very high to take them out, but I don't think it's gonna happen. And speaking of Celti, you know, we didn't get a lot with her. This first half is mostly about the gang stuff, which is, a lot of people would say it's maybe the downfall of Durarara. I know a lot of people don't really care for the gang related stuff. And you know, Kida Misomi, he's supposed to be showing up. It looks like he's gonna be coming back to, you know, find Mikado and find out what's going on. But for the most part, he was just kind of playing phone tag with Izaya and a few others. Because he's with his girlfriend and he's trying to, I guess, to go on vacation. Maybe he's trying to get away from that gang-related life, which I could see that. And lastly, we have Izaya. You know, he, again, just like Mikado, no, not Mikado, but like Kida, he didn't really do a whole lot. He was kind of more on the sidelines. And same with Aonri, but Izaya basically, at the end, had a very interesting moment where he, I guess he's walking down the street and he gets a phone call from some random guy. I forgot his name, but he gets this phone call, and I guess this guy's almost sounds like he's threatening him in a way that he's just saying that you've gotten too big for this town, that there can't be two people like us in the same area, and you gotta be taken down or taken out. And Izaya is kind of like, yeah, okay, like doesn't really think much about it. But for some reason, someone walks by him, he gets stabbed, you know, and then that's the last shot of the episode where he's laying on the ground bleeding, basically. So face first on the ground bleeding. So it's like, I don't think he's gonna die because obviously he's an important character in the series. But obviously they are showing that someone is taking their aggression out on him, which for once, you know, is something that I've never even remember seeing happen to Izaya. So, but he looks like he's kind of a guy who's pretty strong on this related stuff, that he won't let something like that stop him. Obviously, he's fought with these Shizuo for so many years, so it's like, I doubt a stabbing is gonna kill him. But yeah, that's pretty much all that happened this first season. I mean, I'm looking forward to maybe less gun or gang related stuff. I want to see more stuff with Celti and Shinra and maybe Izai and Shizuo. I mean, I don't really care too much for Mikado, but it is interesting to see where his character is going. So yeah, that's been a quick rundown of this pretty much stuff that's happened in the later half of Durarara Season 2. See you guys next time for the, you know, I guess start of the next season, which is in the summertime. So, thanks for listening.